Good afternoon, Jeremy.
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Pote, and I would like to welcome all participants to the AMSA International Future Pathway Camp. Good afternoon to us all. I hope that we are in a good and fine conditions. And I would like to introduce you to this event. So we have a few rules to be adhered for these events. So the meeting's rules are hereby. The first one is please change your name into your clear name on the Zoom. The second one is the host and speakers will be asked to turn their videos and microphones on. The third is participants are requested to keep their microphones on mute to minimize background noise and allow the audience to focus on the discussions. Fourth is you can ask questions on the plenary sessions. So we will have plenary and you can ask the questions there. So no need to type your questions on the question box. And fifth, the sessions will be recorded and uploaded on the Facebook of AMSA International and YouTube of AMSA International. So this is our timeline for the events. So we are at the registration and the opening of the events. And we will introduce the speaker shortly, and we will have 4 speakers, which is the first one is Dr. Mandukai from Mongolia with the life as a physician researcher, following by Dr. Dewi from Indonesia with the topic of life as a community service physicians. And the next one is Dr. Pot from Thailand with life as a national defense physicians. And the last one, but not least, is from Dr. Erlina from Indonesia with the name of life as an activist physicians. And then we will proceed to the panel sessions with a talk show format. So you can ask your question there. You can raise your hand so that I can see you, and you can free to unmute yourself and ask the questions. And then we will have a question and answer session on the panel session before we wrap up and close the events. And that's all for the ground rules and the timetable of the events. Now we proceed to the presentation sessions. The first one will be brought by Dr. Mandukai. A simple introduction about Dr. Mandukai. Dr. Mandukai is a physician from Mongolia who works also on Saigal Research Institute and really keen on doing research and doing analysis. To Dr. Mandukai, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Jeremy, do I need to share my screen, or are you going to share screen?
Yes, you can share your screen if you want.
Okay. So now you can see my screen?
Yes, you are visible now.
Okay. So let's start. And thank you for inviting me a lecturer in this time to talk about being a doctor and scientist at the same time. So my name is Manduka. So when I was a medical student in Mongolia, I was a member of the Asian Medical Student Association Mongolia. That was very happy and very interesting time of my life during my medical school. So it's a great opportunity to talk about in this time. So my name is Manduka. You can call me Mandy. That's easier for you to call. So in order to explain what's being a scientist, then I prepared these slides for medical students to ask. So it's okay to say, I don't know, if any question that you have. There is no shame in that. But it's not okay to pretend that we know everything. That is the scientist question that we have to ask every day from ourselves. And the next slide that I want to share the difference between being a doctor and a scientist. You can look for this website link and then read about the full paper, the difference between a doctor and scientist. And there is a little bit difference between being a doctor and scientist. For example, approach to the knowledge. For the doctors, they always search for application. For scientists, they search for discovery, something like that. There are a lot of difference between a scientist and a doctor. So I will talk more about this in the slides. There are 3 kinds of difference between doctor and scientists. So first of all, you can only get a medical degree. So that means maybe it depends on your country system, medical system. There might be in Mongolia, for example, we only have medical doctor degree. And then after it takes 6 years to complete the medical degree, then you have to go into postgraduate degree, for example, master and PhD and postdoc, but there is no at the same time you can get the medical doctor. But some other countries, they may have combined medical doctor and PhD program, which is very great opportunity for them. If in your country, if you have this kind of program, you should go for it, because it's it gives you opportunity that you have a formal training in medicine and science at the same time. That you can save time, and then at the same time, you can learn medicine and science at the same time. But another option, the third option that might interest is get degrees separately. So you can go to, maybe you can finish your medical degree and then go into the master and PhD degree. It's also possible in Mongolia. This kind of opportunity is a lot. So we don't have combined medical degree and PhD program at the same time. Then that means we have to finish medical degree first, and then we have to go into master and PhD program. But in your country, if you have a combined program, then that is a very great opportunity for you. So now I would like to introduce myself briefly, because I'm a public health teacher and also at the same time researcher in Mongolia. So my main goal of is to most up-to-date and effective methods to pass on my students. Also, since I'm a public health research, I try to serve highest impact on my population in Mongolia, as well the world population. So this is the current field, why I entered into public health research from the medical doctor. As I previously told you that I finished my medical degree in Mongolia. I took my medical doctor, then I go into master degree in the public health. So I started from, when I finished my medical degree, I go into emergency medical doctor, because since I'm a medical doctor, I wanted to work as a medical doctor for a while. Then emergency medical doctor is very intense. So every day I have to stay there for like full time, 24 hours to stay, to serve for the patients. And then that was very interesting time of my life. And it takes around 1 year to work there. It's very interesting. And then I turned it into public health researcher. Then I did my master degree in international health program, and I learned a lot about the public health. And then I tried to mix between like public health and medical doctor. So now I work as a full-time faculty member, Mongolian National University of Medical Science School of Public Health. Now it's almost 6 to 7 years. And then at the same time, I'm working statistical consultant of Central Asian Journal of Medical Science as a part-time at the same time. So that is kind of peer review process. And then Mongolian medical research, they send the manuscript to the journal, and we give a comment and then feedback, everything. And that's very interesting also. And last year, like almost 2 or 3 years ago, I was working as a visiting professor at the Children's Hospital Los Angeles, because we have a cooperation project between the Children's Hospital Los Angeles, University of the Southern California, and Mongolia. And I was the main principal investigator of the project. And I also worked in CHLA. In order to explain about the research and physician at the same time, I wanted to encourage you to study your healthcare system. Even in Indonesia, even in India, during your medical school, you really have to keep attention your healthcare system. So for example, in Mongolia, we have like capital city, and then we have 21 provinces. And then our healthcare system is based on the social health insurance and primary level, secondary level, tertiary level. And then according to the World Bank reports, there is there is relatively low proportion of the doctor per population. And health research situation in Mongolia is, we divide into 7 sections: organization, research and data analysis, research training, study hub, science journals, database, and research fund. The most of the study hub in Mongolia, we have been doing both in government and non-government organization, mostly focus on descriptive studies and cross-section studies. That means a prevalence study. So according to the evidence pyramid, because we are mainly focused on the weakest study form, then I also would like to encourage my Mongolian students, also like Asian students, to do more like focus on meta-analysis and systematic review, because it's the strongest evidence that you can get from medicine. And but if you really would like to work in a like field, you should try cohort study, case control study, and cross-section study. That is also very interesting, but the evidence is not that strong. And also when you want to become a good doctor and scientist, you should download these HIS criteria, because it's very important to determine the cost relation in medicine. So there is a nine criteria you have to look at. And Mongolian health research situation in Mongolia is we have some open database, science journals, policy and cooperation, and we have a research funding local and international. And also if you would like to work on some research in Mongolia, we also can contact and cooperate each other. And for my previous project that I worked as a principal investigator, it's because even I'm a medical doctor, I like to work in the private sector, which is very interesting to me. Then, because I try to do research, connect with the private sector and then health and medicine, because it's very interesting to me. Then I did almost 2 years, I ran this project, which is cost of absenteeism because of air pollution among private sector companies in Mongolia. And later I also have MASCOM project for the pregnant woman, and that was running almost 2 years ago. And these are my students, you know some of them because they've been participating in Asian medical conferences. And we also have some Facebook TV broadcasting and Facebook profile frame. And finally, I would like to just say the difference between practicing in medicine and public health, but you can choose which field that you wanted to work after graduating your medical degree. And the first one is, if you are a medical doctor, you can only work as an individual, but if you are in a public health, you could work more than 100. So that means your broad range is higher. Secondly, the medical doctor treating with the prescription, but the public health, it's mainly focused on prevention and education. Thirdly, the only medical doctors, they serve for patients, but public health, they mainly focus on the projects. So fourth, and there is a medical doctor, they are always special, for example, dermatologists, ophthalmologists, something like that. But public health diversification is the most important thing, that you can work everywhere, you can work anything. And lastly, medical doctor working more in a practice, but public health more in the policy section. Then it really depends on which you like. If you like practice, you can work in the medical doctor, but if you want to change policy, it's better to work in the public health sector, something like that. Then for lastly, the advice for medical students, it takes a very long time to become a doctor scientist, but we love what we do, that we encourage you to think about this as a career, and also that you have, if you are both combined, you have intellectual freedom, and you will have opportunity to interact with talented total doctors and science across the world, and you can also mentor next generation of doctor and scientists. And lastly, the strong employment market and a lot of opportunity in the next future. So my last advice for you, that when you study in a medical school, you also have to try to increase your skills during your medical school. For example, our research institute combined a lot of medical students. They work in NGO, and then they get a lot of certificates in order to get the skills. For example, I would like to encourage you to, because you are medical students, there is a name of the courses, Understanding Medical Research. Your Facebook friend is wrong. I really encourage you to take this course. And then if you wanted to do some quantitative and quality research, you also can go. And lastly, education isn't something you can finish, and learn as if you want to live forever. That is my advice, and thank you so much for the attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Mandukai from Mongolia, for such a brief and clear presentations on how to be a physician researcher. And we already see how impressive it is to be a physician researcher and how much benefits that it can bring to us and to all the societies that we are living in. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Mandukai, for the amazing speech. Now we are moving to the second speakers. Now we are already having Dr. Dewi Friska with us. She is part of the community medicine department of Faculty of Medicine, University of Indonesia. And I would like to welcome Dr. Dewi to share the screen, and the stage is now yours. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome, Jeremy, and good afternoon to all the participants. And hello, Dr. Mandukai. Please let me share my screen. Yes. A moment, please.
Okay, Dr. Dewi, your screen is now visible.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. First of all, thank you for AMSA International and also Jeremy to invite me to this event. And before I start the sharing of me, actually I got the titles to be delivered to you is building community through medicine. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Dewi Friska, and I'm a lecturer of Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Indonesia. And nowadays, actually, I'm assigned as the faculty community health service coordinator and other activities related to the community health services and also community empowerment program. And well, actually, in this short curriculum vitae, I just want to share that all the things that I've done. Actually, finally, I realized that it is my passion. So let me share how my journey started in the community health services and also community empowerment program. Actually, it started in about 2011. Actually, I had assignment as a doctor when I was graduated from medical school, and I was a doctor in Faculty of Medicine Kayu Putih Family Medicine Clinic, and in 2010 I become the head of the clinic. And in here at about 2011, I was assigned to make like the community empowerment program, and this is like my first experience, whereas I have to make like the community empowerment program to the clinic, and we call it integrated post for non-communicable disease detection. And not only like receiving the patient with non-communicable disease, but this is the scheme that finally I try to make with the team. Since 2012, we have the family and community base of diabetes managed care program, and coordinated by the clinic. We have 3 big activities, including early detection program with the community participation. well, I got my new experience in this, how I can get connected with the community, and also I train them and also communicate with the stakeholder to do something and make this program can run in about 4 years. This is like the description of the program itself. Actually, through this program, we try to make it like the step-by-step community health services program. So not only I give education to the community, but we make the concept and also the program in one district in Jakarta. And after that, with the collaboration with about 108 health cadres for this program, we could run this program about 4 years in each community where the health cadres live. So this is a new experience because, as I said, not like I just give education, but I also try to train and also supervise them to do the early detection for non-communicable disease. As in the picture, actually, this is the health cadres that before they got training for doing early detection for non-communicable disease. And for some experience, actually, after that, I finally realized that no one maybe got the opportunity to create some community health services program, and then I enjoy. Then after that, I continue try to make community programs, and these are my experiences. First is healthy hydration education through comic apps and AMIR movement in Indonesia. We call it AMIR. AMIR is gerakan minum air or healthy hydration movement. And this is the steps. Like we develop, I and the team develop the children character, the child character named Amir, but actually Amir also an acronym of Ayo Minum Air or Let's Drink Water. So it's like the program to ask the people, especially the children, to start the healthy drinking behavior. And after that, we create also the module for the teacher, community health workers, and also caregiver. And also we got the intellectual property and also like the Muri appreciation. It's like the national record appreciation for giving the most number of people educated through AMIR program. Who is AMIR? Maybe we can see this video to describe what is AMIR's program. This is the comic, actually, the animation comics. This is Amir. This is with the team. And we educate the teacher and also the children through comic Amir. We have audience with the Ministry of Health and launch the program as national program. This is when we got the record. And this is with our dean. And this is when I give education. Yes. And actually, Amir did not stop only only with the comic and also with the apps. Actually, in pandemic era, we also continue our programs with we call it Indonesian Hydration Working Group Champions Goes to Digital. In this program, we try to disseminate about the healthy hydration behavior. And after that, this is like 3 years, 9 cities health cadres empowerment program for non-communicable disease, whereas I also collaborate with all the people in the community to run this program for 3 years. We develop, we do something, we teach the health cadres or community health workers to help us, to collaborate with us to do the activities. And from this, actually, I also try to make a publication with the team that being the community health workers, being the health cadres, actually they have their personal value and can get their benefit. And actually, besides the experience and also the community health programs, I also enjoy collaboration with all the great FMUE students. Actually, Jeremy's friends. Also, yes, this is like I and also with the students, we have the Tinggi Cerdas program. It's program in one of the community development area in West Java, and we got also the appreciation from the Asian Student Collaborative program as the best community program at that time. And in the pandemic area, collaborate with this collaboration also done with the students with FMUI students and also with other academic staff from Faculty of Medicine Universitas Indonesia, try to develop the platform, the application called N-Corona. And N-Corona consists of platform for self-risk assessment of COVID-19 and also the hotline number, the WhatsApp helpline, and also educational materials feature in the apps. And after that, this is the staffs and this is the students. Actually, it's like the collaboration. And besides the application, we try also to develop the ebook so we can disseminate the information about COVID-19 through to the community. And also in COVID-19, with the students also try to collaborate and develop the educational videos about COVID. And this is like the interesting program to pandemic COVID. And also a publication about this community empowerment program. And well, actually, from all the all the journey that I had, actually, this is like the pros and the cons, the positive side. The positive side, actually, I finally realized that this is my passion, and also I enjoy the activities since that I realized that it's my passion. So it's like, well, it's challenging, but because it's passion, I like to do that. So I enjoy the activities, and also I can meet a lot of people from uh, any kind of people, such as like the government, the teacher, the community, health workers, and also the people in the community itself, and also collaborate with students and other stakeholders. At least I can contribute something to the community, not only as a physician, but also as the as the community leader, for example, something like that, and also can walk the ideas, sometimes little ideas, and after that I talk to the team, and finally I can make it real. And maybe some the cons is about time management and also the dynamic of the team, because the motivation of the team is not always the same, but also how to make the program sustain, because the community health services program should not only be like one short program, but also like the sustainable program. So maybe that's the challenge, and also how uh, we can, or I can motivate the team members, or maybe we can motivate each other. And maybe tips and trick for you is just start. If you have small idea just start the small idea and share your small idea to others that maybe have the same chemistry with you, even though it's like your small idea, not a big thing idea. Well, because big thing comes from the small one. And finally, walk the talk. Not only just talk the idea, but try to make it happen. And after that, talk the walk. And thank you for AMSA International because giving me the opportunity to talk the walk and maybe share something to the audience in here. I guess that's my slide. Maybe we can have discussion.
Okay,
Thank you, Jeremy.
thank you very much, Dr. Devi, for such a good insight on how it is like to be a community service physicians, and that give me a good insight also on how we medical students can contribute to our community starting from now. And thank you
Yes.
very much for sharing, Dr. Dewi. And now we are moving to the next speakers. Before we start our plenary, we still have 2 speakers to go. And I will introduce Dr. Pote. Dr. Pot. Dr. Pot is a doctor with a military service also in Thailand. And he is also servicing his country while doing his practice in the medicine. To Dr. Pot, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Jeremy. Uh, nice to meet you all. So to make it short, I have to ask your help to conduct the slide for me. Next, please. Actually, to be a military doctor is kind of specialties, one kind of medical specialties that's different from the others specialty of the physicians, but it's based on your medical knowledge that you apply to do something to serve your country, not only human mankind, but also your nation. It's very honored to be military doctors. But anyway, if you are doctors, you can help people. That is the most important thing. Go on. Next, please. Yes, my uh, my curriculum. I'm graduate from Pramukutka College of Medicine. Oh, unbelievable. 30 years ago. Next, you can click. You can continue clicking, and then I pursue my master degree in clinical trial med at Mahidol University. Go on. And then the doctor of public health. Uh, it seems that all of the speaker, Dr. Manukai, Dr. Devi, and the others, and also me, in the public health field. So continue, and then I have a clinical fellowship of the tropical disease research at the WHO for a year in Geneva. That is give me my insights and a lot of knowledge in tropical disease. Go on. And also the health emergency for large population and crisis uh, critical crisis management uh, to to deal with the people in need during disaster. So a lot of things that I learned from this class. Go on. And then a lot of my army, my military career. I was an airborne and underwater medicine and also aviation medicine. Go on. And my work experience is actually I since I'm graduate, I am a faculty of community and military medicine at Pramukutka College of Medicine, and I'm still on. I'm still faculty of this unit. Go on, and then I turn to director of various hospitals, Ford hospitals. Go on, you can continue clicking. Uh-huh. Jakapong Hospital, and then I'm director of the Panurangsi Hospital. It gives me an idea how to be the director, how to manage, how to work with other people. Go on, you can continue. And then right now, I'm the director of medical service of the Office for Permanent Secretary for Defense of Thailand. So it gives me an idea how to work with the people, how to work with the others. Normally, physician, doctors, all of you doing, thinking, and working all by yourself, not with the others. That's right. You do the physical exam, do the history taking, asking for the lab, and make a decision making, give the diagnosis to the patient and treatment, all of this by yourself. You never ask others. You do everything by yourself. No one intervene with you. But working as a military doctors, you cannot work alone. You have to work in unit. You have to work in regiment, in battalion, in company. So it's totally different from uh, normal physician, normal doctors. That is a lot of difference. Go on. Yes, go on. You can click on. I just give you a lot of my handsome picture of myself. In peacetime, normally military doctors is the same as normal doctors. You treat the patient in the hospital, in the clinic, take care of the families of the members of the unit that you were on. But something different go on. When disaster strike or some emergency situation, I give you the picture of the last 13 soccer team a couple years ago in the middle in the dark cave of northern of Thailand, that our military doctors become heroes and help uh, these these children out of the cave. So I mean that in disaster, military doctors will be one of the most powerful unit to help to solve in the uh, this in to help the people in disaster time. Go on. But in wartime, that's totally different. You can continue clicking. Uh-huh. Uh, a lot of soldiers were injured and need help from you. So not only that you know the normal knowledge, but to be the physician, military doctors, you have to know something to save life, to help in the bad situation. You can continue clicking. Go on, continue. So these injured soldiers need to be survived if they can. But the thing that totally different from the normal situation, we take care the patient who can survive, who can go back to fight for us. That is the major point. But if we consider they are not good enough or they worse to consume the the resource of our unit, we consider to leave them or let them die. That's totally different from the others. We call triage. That's the one thing that totally, completely different from normal physician, normal life. Okay, you can continue. Click on. I give you a lot of pictures of the injured during the wartime. Go on, Jeremy. You can click again. One more. And one more. So the major point of a military doctor is to conserve the armed force. You can go back a little bit, a little bit, one click, to conserve the armed force. And we use the motto from my old school, from the Uniform Service University of the Health Science in United States, that they use the motto as good medicine in bad place. That means we do the best of medicine in the worst scenario, in the worst scene, to save people life. Go on. Yes, go on. One more click. One more click. Yes. Actually, it's the same. It's the same as the others. We have to consist of three things: academic, service, and research, to promote and to make the military physician survive, and uh, this field survive. We have to consist of these three things. But our missions is totally based on. Go on. You can continue. Click. Yes, the first thing we emphasize on primary prevention, because the soldier, we conscript or we recruit them from the best people, the best population of each country, to be the soldier. So they good health, they're very strong. It's our mission, our main point, to keep them strong and to promote their health, to be able to do as they order to do their jobs. But if they got injured, we will give them the best treatment that we can, according to the level of the injury. If the injury in the front line, we don't have a hospital or we don't have operating room, we do the best to save their life and send them back, as we call the evacuation treatment, for the number 3. And for the number 4, we have to procurement all the medical supply for our unit to be able to do their job. But all of these things will be override by the order of the unit. If they want to be win, if they want to be to have victories, so they will stop everything and follow the order of the unit to do the other things. That's, I mean that the order of the command is what you call, is can override or can stop our job as the doctors to save life, but to follow the strategy order to win, because the best military medicine is victory. That should be the short insight or for the military physician that you can have. I think most of the country, India has their own school, military medical school. Malaysia has. Indonesia, I don't think you don't have yet. Philippines, about to have. Thailand, we have. So a lot of country have military medical school. But before I stop, I just want to give you, and because you are now medical student, you don't know yet what you want to do. I just give you an idea that do your best at this time, and it will give you the foundation that will be later or in the future. So be calm and study and look after your patient as best as you can. Thank you, Dr. Jeremy. Maybe a little bit too long.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pote. And for information to all participants, Dr. Pote is now joining a military training in the middle of the mountain. So he cannot share the screen and he should attend from his phone. And thank you very much, Dr. Pote, for attending us for today. And we are moving to our next speakers. Our next speaker is Dr. Erlina from Indonesia. She is a practitioner in the Persahabatan National General Respiratory Center Hospital in Jakarta and now is the head of the COVID task force in Indonesia and also the member of the TB assembly in Asia Pacific. To Dr. Erlina, now the stage is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jeremy, and also thank you to the AMSA International for giving me this opportunity to say something. Can you see my slide? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Already.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erlina Burhan, and I'm from Department of Pulmonology and Respiratory Medicine, Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Indonesia, and I'm also working at Persahabatan Hospital. So I would like to put a title of Pursuing Career as Pulmonologist Physician. So it's not about the activist because I don't think I'm an activist. I'm just a pulmonologist that is a bit active. Yeah. This is my career. I finished my medical doctor at Faculty of Medicine Universitas Andalas, and I took my master degree at University of Heidelberg in Germany, and then continue with became a specialist as a pulmonologist at the Faculty of Medicine Universitas Indonesia, and I also got my PhD degree in 2012 at the University of Indonesia as well. And this is my position and honors. Currently, I'm a pulmonologist who work at the Universitas Indonesia, Faculty of Medicine and Persahabatan Hospital with more than 20 years of experience in pulmonology and respiratory medicine. People say that I'm a key person in the fight against TB in Indonesia, including the head of professional organization Coalition Against Tuberculosis. So this organization consists of more than 13 professional organization in Indonesia. And I'm also a member of board director in International Unions Against Tuberculosis and Lung Disease. This headquarters is in Paris, and at the same time, I'm also the head of TB Assembly Asia Pacific Society of Respirology or APSR, and other various organizations domestically and international as well, but mostly in TB activity. But right during this global health pandemic of COVID-19, I contribute as the head of COVID-19 commando team at my hospital. And right now I'm heavily involved in the making of various COVID-19 guidelines in Indonesia, and also giving training for the healthcare worker and advisor in making health policy, helping and contributed to our Ministry of Health office. Just a couple months ago, I was elected as a tokoh perubahan. Tokoh perubahan mean that someone that make a change. This award is given by Republica Award. This is a yearly award that been given to those who take part in any changing in the important changing in the country. So it was, this is, I would like to share my experience in COVID-19 pandemic. So when the pandemic started in Wuhan, China, that was in December 2019. And a month after that, even though we did not have the cases yet, but I organized my organization, which is the Indonesian Society of Respirology, to to had a press release on this COVID-19. So we gather all the media and then make some education that to be delivered to the community. And also I proceed with some friends to make the guideline pneumonia COVID-19, and this is was launched in February. So even before we had a case. And I also contribute to the medical faculty, medical education unit at the medical faculty Universitas Indonesia to develop some sort of a guideline book how to deal with pandemic COVID-19, and it was published in 2020 at the, I think around April in 2020. And not only that, I also contribute to give my expertise and also some of advice in the developing of a book. It calls the Informatorium of COVID-19 drugs in Indonesia. So this is published by our national FDA, and this is being document that being became a reference of many clinicians in the country. And together with other professional organizations such as internal medicine organization, and also with the pediatric organization, cardiology association, also with the anesthesiology association, we developed the guideline of COVID-19 management, and I was the first editor of this book. Not only that, I also help our country to have this standard of how to perform the personal protection equipment. This is for the healthcare in Indonesia. The same thing, we also developed the book regarding this protocol guideline, the emergency in the primary healthcare station. Yeah, during pandemic, I'm very, very busy. I'm also doing and teaching my resident in the hospital to handle this COVID-19 patient. And once while I get into isolation room at the beginning, but now my student and also my junior forbid to get in really deep into isolation room. So they said only that they would like me to become as a, because they said that the junior should be in the first line. So not only treating the patient, but I'm also doing a lot of activities for the educational activities, not only for the medical society, but also for the public, for the community. So this is my activities during the pandemic era, and I think that is why students call me as an activist. And regarding the medical or academic activities, I also gave a talk not only in national scope but also international one. This is the one that we do. We collaborate with the Italian Medical Society, but I did also give as a speaker at the American Thoracic Society, and also with the Latin American Thoracic Society. And I also enroll right now a few of a clinical trial that being done in my university and also in my hospital. There are 4 or 5 clinical trial now is going on. Usually trial with the drug. We are having now a remdesivir trial, and also an antibody monoclonal trial, and soon we will have a mRNA vaccine trial in the city. This is just to show all the ethical approval that we got, and this one is already finished, the mesenchymal stem cell application for the COVID-19 patient. I'm also a part of GDG WHO. GDG is a guideline development group for TB for COVID-19 drugs. So we get together by Zoom meeting every week, 2 or 3 hours weekly, and we discuss and evaluate about many of potential drug for COVID-19, and there's 2 of them already published. This one is published in a British Medical Journal. It is a living WHO guideline on drug for COVID, and this is me, Erlina Ban, is a part of the list of the authors. And this is my own manuscript that also being published. And this is just to show my activities giving education for the people through television, national television, and also doing this podcast with very famous celebrity in Indonesia. So one moment that very important for me is giving a speech at the General Assembly of United Nations in New York. So my speech was about multi-drug resistant tuberculosis. Yeah. So what is my motivation to enter and pursue for this professional career as a pulmonologist? First, I realized that many of respiratory disease remain as a public health problem, and also there is a high magnitude of respiratory disease. Some of them are being neglected, although it is preventable and curable. And there was a very important moment in my life that having experience doing research in Namibia. There is a small country in Africa, and I met a TB patient, HIV patient and their family, and also healthcare worker working for this TB program. So I was so amazed with the activity, and I talked to myself, I want to be a doctor that treat TB or HIV patient. And also the when I took a master degree experience in Heidelberg, I also given a lot of experience in how to do a public health approach. So I wanted to be a clinician after seeing patient in Africa, but at the same I also want to be able to do actively some activities in public health aspect. And I realized also that there is a shortage of medical experts in pulmonology, even though the burden of respiratory disease in Indonesia are very high. So I see the opportunity here. There is a shortage and people need more a pulmonologist. So this is why I want to become a pulmonologist. What are the pros and cons as a pulmonologist? So many doctors actually reluctant to profession due to the risk of being infected, which is not true. Why? Because as a pulmonologist, we know the risk of being infected is very low by knowing the nature in the prevention of the disease. So if you do know how it transmitted, then you know how to prevent it. So that is not correct that the doctors should be reluctant to this profession because of this risk of being infected. And many of I think maybe right now some medical student new graduated think that the profession of pulmonologist is unpromising. Again, I would like to say that is not true. It's wrong because pulmonologists are needed in many levels of health facility, especially in Indonesia. And then some says, oh, the income is lower than other medical profession. Again, it's not correct. Pulmonary disease impact all kind of society level. So it's nothing to do with the social low level of social economic society. No, this is a very prestigious profession, and if you have a patient on this, you are doing it in a very comfortable manner, and it will make you happy if you like it. So this is a tip and trick to become a recognized swine. First, I said that very important, seize your moment. When you heard something new and important related to your career, find out, grab it, not earlier than others. Make a bucket list of what you want to do to be able to involve in this matter. Make prediction and give contribution to the solution. So by doing this, you will be recognized. And then in regard to public health problem, put education first and ensure people understand your purpose. Do it in a time manner and talk to the right person with the right content. Other thing is that you should treat people the way you want to be treated and consistent. Again, consistent in your major, consistent in your field, and make collaboration. Seize your moment, make collaboration, either it's internationally or nationally. And also, I think you need to practice effective communication in order to have everyone that you want to be in the group at the same page. And no matter how high is your level or how high is your achievement, still stay humble, be chill. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Erlina, for such great presentations. And now we are moving to the plenary session. So we are now having a question and answer session. So everybody can free to ask their question throughout the raise hand feature, so they can ask their question directly, or if they want to ask the questions in the chat box, you can ask the question in chat box, and I will have to read it out to all of the speakers. So we are waiting for the questions, and while I am setting the stage for the conversations, I will be asking the pre-recorded questions. So I have gathered some questions from the question box from the registration form in the AMSA International Future Pathway Camp, and I will read some questions for us all. So the first question is it possible if one is pursuing their career, they become exhausted, and shall we get a break if we become exhausted from pursuing the career or the target, and what tips and tricks so that we can overcome that feeling of exhausted or being bored, so that we can continue to pursue our dreams and hopes. The first one is for Dr. Adelina first to answer. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. If you like your job, I think that won't be a problem. If you get tired, take a break. It's okay. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to stop. It's okay to say, I'm tired. I don't know how to handle this thing. And then perhaps you need to be with people that you love, then with the planning that you will come back. So it's not that you run away, but just take a break. Take a break, but plan to come back. Okay, do your hobbies. If you like to sing, then do singing. Yeah, do something crazy. It's okay. No problem. Sometimes people need to do something crazy. Yeah, but not something that will make you in trouble. Crazy, what I mean is like, I don't know. I don't know how to sing. So for me to do something crazy is to sing out loud. So it's okay. Yeah, take your time, take a rest, but planning to come back. Don't take a rest for a long time. Yeah, just yeah, you plan it maybe 2 weeks. That's okay. Go swimming, go places, but come back. Please come back to your field, to your job. That is important. Yeah,
Okay,
that's the only thing I can say.
thank you very much, Dr. Elio. So to sum up, it is okay to feel tired, but you must have relaxed and come back to what is your focus on. And is there any other three speakers that would like to address their answer to these questions? You are free to unmute yourself and answer the questions. Thank you.
Well, maybe I would like to add answers for feeling exhausted. Yes, actually, it's okay to be not okay actually, or feeling exhausted. But as Dr. Elina said, if it is our passion, then we could go back after we take a break for a while. Don't be afraid to take your me time for a short time. But actually, when I get exhausted or I get like down motivated, sometimes when I was contacted with the students or my team, and they show me something related to the progress, and finally sometimes it's like becoming my mood booster. So maybe if you feel exhausted, just go for a short moment or for a while, but don't forget, sometimes when you see the result of your achievement of what you have done, sometimes it can be like your mood booster. Maybe that's something also.
Okay, thank you.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Jeremy, if I got upset in my hospital and I got really pissed off, I go to the ice cream store and get some ice cream and go back home.
Can I go with you, Dr. Erlina?
Yes,
Yes, of course.
that's simple things that help a lot during this hard time, isn't it? Yes,
Yes.
and we are moving to the next questions. We have questions, I think, especially for Dr. Mandukai. So it's from Mabel that have completed her MBBS course. She want to become a physician researcher and specialize in pathology. During MBBS course, there was not much research experience and honestly do not know how well to do research. Can you give advice for Mabel? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mabel. So I would advise you to take online courses that I suggest. I send you some link. Maybe I can send it to Jeremy. Jeremy can forward to him. And then it's if you can get a lot of information during your MBBS course, it's better to get the online courses, because online course gives you a lot of opportunity. Even you cannot understand, you can watch it again, and there is also ResearchGate, and then you can maybe log in a ResearchGate, and then if any question related to research, you can just write your post. I don't understand this, and there are a lot of answers coming to you. And then if you have a chance, and you can talk with the experts, researchers, they may give you a lot of advices. I think these three important tips that I can give you if you want to know more about the research.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Mandukai, for the answer. I think we are moving to the next question. The next question is for Dr. Pot. So we have questions privately asked. So this is the question is the people are asking about the Medicine Sans Frontiers or the Doctor Without Borders. So it is an organization where doctors help people who are in a state of danger or crisis. But the people want to know why this kind of organization who devoted their life to help the people in danger is not well known by others. So is there any advantage or disadvantage of joining that kind of organizations like the Doctor Without Borders, and how to join that kind of things? Thank you very much, Dr. Pot.
Okay, I think it's very sacrifice people for the medical sans frontier. So Doctor Without Border, they do a very dangerous job to save other people's life. But anyway, these organizations or all kind of organization like this will emphasize on the safety of their personnel. If the job is not safe enough, they will not do or let the people practice or do anything with dangers. Because of what? If you are injured or if you in danger, you cannot help other people. You have to be safe. You have to be what you call uh, in not dangerous situation to save other people. It's very important. But anyway, they have to consider or they have to do the risk management to see that if in that area is safe enough, they will let you do that job. But if not, they won't. They have what I think the Medical Sans Frontier is situated in either Switzerland or France, and many countries you can find and ask to join them. Is very good opportunity to practice and do something like this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Pot, for the answer. So in the Hippocratic Oath, we also ought to take care of ourselves, and that is the main point of joining the Doctor Without Borders. That's something that we have to take a note of. And we are moving to the next question. There are private.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Jeremy, to those who are MBBS graduate or just a fresh graduate medical doctor, if you want to have an international experience, there is a regular application for the WHO internship in Geneva, and there is a 6-month contracts. It's not an internship like we all know that a clinical work, but it's more it's like a administration work, and also you are experience of having a collaboration and also helping WHO, helping them in the programmatic aspect, and that is usually for 6 months to 1 month. This is open position for those fresh graduated. See the website. I've been to Geneva many times, and um, in the office, and I keep asking, and said there is no application from Indonesia, so please do, or maybe Malaysia, or yeah, any other country.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Elena, for the explanations. And this is related to the next question that being asked privately to chat. There are questions that the student want the speakers to elaborate about medical entrepreneurship and various positions in the government and organizational body like WHO, UNICEF, and etc. and how to collaborate and how to join them, and that is the one of the answer. But can you please elaborate further if you have any other recommendations on how to join them and how to collaborate actively inside that kind of organizations? Thank you.
Okay, during this pandemic era, there is a lot of opportunity to do internship in many organizations such as UNICEF, country WHO, and other organizations. Since they do a lot of develop a lot of program or project, but they do not have enough staff. So their what so called their original staff are very busy with their activities. So if they have any new project, actually they want to have a like a internship doctor to help them for certain of time, and there is a as well. But many of these organizations, such as a country WHO or Indonesia WHO or UNICEF, they required at least 1 year engagement. So sometimes uh, our fresh graduate are not interested because they think it's too long. They like to proceed with clinical. But those who are interested in like doing public health or working in this health organization, I think this is a good opportunity to apply.
Okay, thank you very much.
Uh, may I add, Dr. Jeremy, because my experience with the WHO at the Tropical Disease Research Unit over there for 1 year is give me an insight and very good opportunity to work to do the research uh, with the tropical disease or the neglected disease that in various countries such as Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, many places. It give us a very good opportunity and very hand-on experience with the what you call professional researchers that WHO set the unit over there. The disease that is hardly to find right now, such as liver blindness, what else? Serpents of Medina, the on 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 Corsica, bolus or something like that, and is very interesting. If you have a chance, apply them. But anyway, WHO select the quite they're quite picky to pick up the people if you have contact or if you have the mentor who work over there or your teachers who used to work over there. It will be a lot more easier than you could walk there by yourself, and they will give you a quite very hard time to get in. But anyway, if you have a chance, please do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Put. Is there any add-ons from other speakers, from Dr. Mandukai or Dr. Devi, about their experience working in an international forum or international organizations? Okay, so it's all for the for that kind of question, and then we are moving to the next question. So we are moving to the question asked in the chat box. And for who I want to asking, you can raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat box. So we are moving to the next question. So this is question from Arnab, and he is asking on the COVID pandemic. So the med school classes have gone online. I think it's in various countries and in various regions that it have been went online for so long, and it's really hitting hard on medical students who started med school a few months ago, and it's quite very depressing. So Arnab would like to ask for some advice or some motivations from every speakers from here. Thank you very much. Maybe anyone who can proceed to give their words or their speaks to Arnab. Thank you.
Okay, I'm go first. To study online is very give student hard time. You must be very disciplined and hardworking. Otherwise, you will not get anything. But anyway, one other thing that is good for online, there are so many resources for you to look at and study, and some of them very good and very insight. Uh, Sometimes better than I can say your teacher because it's very concise and from all over the world. It depends on you to pick it up. It might give you a hard time, but it will give you a lot of chance. So don't look it boring. Don't look it disappoint you. Look at as it give you uh, open your eye and open your mind. It will be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And we are moving to the next. Maybe Dr. Dewi has already unmuted herself. That previously you can give your words of statement. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the questions, Arnab. Actually, I understand that being medical school, medical students, sometimes you have thoughts that it will be very busy and very active, but regarding pandemic condition, then you have to do everything online. But maybe one tip that I can give you that, as I said, that just maybe think about a small idea what you can do in this pandemic, and after that maybe you can contact your supervisor there, and after that having an idea and discuss the idea with your supervisors, doing maybe like community health services program or something. Maybe it could be something. Maybe in my example, in this pandemic COVID, actually like my students contact me, then doc, I had an idea that can I make it happen. So finally we collaborate to do something, and maybe after that you can decrease your depress or stress level, so you can think that you can be useful even though in the online or pandemic condition. Maybe that's something. Or maybe if one of your supervisor or one of your lecturer ask you about, do you want to join me in this program? So just join and get active. Maybe that's the tips maybe for Arnab.
Okay, thank you. Maybe you are proceeding
Sharing.
to Dr. Elina first.
Yes. Regarding this Arnab feeling, yes, you are very blessing to everyone, not only to the student but also to the faculty members such as Dr. Dewi Friska and also me. I am very, very longing to have a face-to-face teaching process with my student. But this stupid pandemic prevent us to do so. So let's hand in hand together trying to get rid of this stupid pandemic. Yeah, I would like to ask you to become a agent of education to for the community to give education how to prevent the disease. Yeah, do the health protocol and please go for the vaccination and stay safe. So please, all the students be be a agent of education everyone so we can get rid of this pandemic situation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, with focusing on this online learning, we must also focusing on getting rid of this pandemic so that the offline learning can go back into normal. Maybe Dr. Mandukai can give the words also for the students that learning online currently. Thank you.
Do I need to answer the first question?
Yes, maybe you can give the advice for the students that are now learning.
For first year medical student, right? Yeah, I understand situation because we also didn't experience this kind of situation because there was no COVID-19. It's very unfortunate for you that if you spend your time during the COVID-19 during your medical first year, but I would encourage you because you will still have a lot of opportunity that you can ask ask the question again and again when you go into your like second semester from your teachers and from a supervisor, from a program managers, because if your classmates have requested, okay, we would like to learn again these courses, and then they can still help you to maybe you can relearn these courses again. I think they will, I hope they will give you that opportunity that you can learn this class again.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Mandukai. And we are continuing this the question for also Dr. Mandukai from Jenny. Thank you for the sharing. I am curious about the research life as a physician researcher. Is it possible to do wet lab research as a physician researcher? Thank you.
Oh. There is another question about the publication, right?
Yes, there is a question also about the I think there's no question yet about.
Okay. Okay.
I think the question now is wet lab research. Can we do a wet lab research?
If you have time, if you have enough time, then maybe if you don't spend a lot of time in your personal life, and then maybe like maybe you should sleep 8 hours, then you left 16 hours, right? Then you have to spend 8 hours for clinical duty and 8 hours in a lab. But if you think that you can do that, you can go for both. But if you have enough time, you can combine. It's still okay, but it really depends on your situation. Is your personal life is okay, you can spend both time for the clinic and then also laboratory. But sometimes laboratory takes a lot of time from the morning to evening, and you don't have any time to go into the hospital. So it's best to make a decision whether you stay in a lab, whether you stay in a hospital. But in Mongolia, it's very difficult because we have a lot of traffic, and it's very difficult to turn into laboratory to the hospital. It takes like 2 and 3 hours, but you are close to your hospital and then laboratory. Maybe it's still, you can think about, okay, I can do both. Okay, that is my advice.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe I want to ask the question for all of the speakers because all of the speakers have a background of doing research. So let's combine the question of Mabel and Seher here. So how to create an own publications or collaborate in others publications for a beginner. So how is the pathways and how to conduct a cross-country community research? Is that possible? So it's free whether every speakers to answer first. Thank you. So maybe Dr. Mandukai could answer it first, please. Thank you.
Okay. So from my experience that how I started my publication, but first step, you should collaborate with others, because during your medical school, it's very important to part of the research team. If your professor have some project or your senior, maybe your brother and sister have some research, you should be part of that. And then you can maybe contribute for the data collection, or you can have an interview with some members. You can part of that research. And after that, you will have, maybe they can give you, put your name in as a co-author. And this time, okay, you have a publication. But when you graduate, then you can start your own publication. That is my advice. So first start with your team first, and then later you can be independent researcher.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Mandukai. Yes, Dr. Pot, you want to add on?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I want to. I totally agree with Dr. Manukai, and I want to tell all of the students, epidemiology is quite boring. You can say that again, but anyway, it gives you an idea, and if you try to understand them, and you try to learn them and use them, you will enjoy the medicine. Why? Because right now, the evidence-based medicine is the major, or is the heart of medicine right now, and everything has to base on research, has to base on paper and article that you read, and if you can understand how it made, how the paper or how the research is made, how the statistic is used, how to criticize, and how to use them, it's very fun, and you can use it, and you can talk to your teacher, and you can talk to your friend. It's a good idea, and it will not make medicine just recite, read and recite. It will give you what cause, effect, and some other things, and it will make more fun than just read and remember. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So due to the durations, we are at the end of our question and answer session. So every speakers are free to give their take-home message to all the medical students according to their future and according to their current situations. You are free to speak your words. So let's start from Dr. Pote first. Thank you. You are still muted.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Jeremy. So I think right now, because from that I know that most of you are all students, and the highest number is the second year. I think you still don't quite know what will you what in the future that you will have. So I, as I said in my slide, so right now you should emphasize on the thing that you study right now. Enjoy with it, and emphasize on the present, and it will give you an idea what will have in the future. Uh, don't worry in the past or in the future. Just emphasize at the present. Most of the time, at the second years, pathology is the major issue, that give you a hard time. But if you can make it understandable, make it reasonable, to and flow, what is the cause, what is the effect, try not to remember. It will give you a lot more fun than just read and recite. So I just said that just keep calm and enjoy the study, and you will be happy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the strong words, Dr. Put. And we are proceeding to Dr. Mandukai for the closing statement. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So I would have two main advice for medical students to become a scientist. And first, I encourage you to participate any conference that you can participate. It can be local and it can be international. So it gives you a lot of experience. I saw Jeremy and other medical students, they participated in the Asian Medical Students Conference, maybe more than 2 or 3 times. And then they have a lot of experience. For example, Jeremy, I really surprised when I participated in Indian conference. He did a meta-analysis study, systematic review and meta-analysis study. Then that is the most highest evidence in the medicine. So he's still almost 4th year of the medical school student, right? But at the same time, even you are medical students or 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, you can start your journey to become a scientist. This is my first advice. Second, and I also like to give advice for Mongolian students as well. And because when you are in a country, in Mongolia, Indonesia, India, you really have to study about your country healthcare system, because even I'm a medical student, I never thought about my medical system. I don't know any information. Oh, Mongolia, I don't know about any healthcare system, but it's very important for you to find out the research problem. You have to really take attention to your country healthcare system. That is my second advice. Thank you so much and see you later.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we are moving to Dr. Dewi for the closing statement towards our students. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Jeremy, to all of you. Please don't ignore or also underestimate your small idea. If you get the idea, share and talk to your friends and also your supervisors and make it happen. And after you've made it happen, then just don't forget to share it through the publications and also through the following the conference and also the exhibition, and try to get attachment to the community as soon as possible. Not just waiting until you become a doctor, but from the very beginning of your medical journey, just start the collaboration with the community. So get the spirit. You can do something for the community from the beginning. And maybe for the network, actually AMSA International, it's one of the best network that you can follow. So you can have a lot of activities cross over the medical students in all over the country. Okay, I think that's my message.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Dr. Dewi.
Thank
So
you.
last but not least, we are moving to Dr. Erlina for the closing statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. So first I would like to say, love what you are doing, love your job. And your job is studying. So please love it. Love the learning process. And second, appreciate yourself. Please do so. And the third, your brain is like a magnetic. If you think of something positive, you will attract positive thing. But if you think negative thing, you will get negative thing, because your brain is like a magnet. Okay, so seize your moment, grab the opportunity, make collaboration, and be consistent. Again, be consistent. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Erlina, for such a strong closing statement. So that wraps up all our events for today, and we are now moving to the last but not least, the appreciation session. So we are going to give the certificates to our speakers one by one. So this is the certificates for Dr. Mandukai. Thank you very much for joining us. The original certificates will be mailed to you very soon. And we are taking photos with these certificates. So get ready to be taken in 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Mandukai, for joining us. And we are moving to the second speaker, to Dr. Dewi Friska. Thank you very much, Dr. Dewi, for joining us this
You're
afternoon.
welcome.
And we are going to give the certificates, and we are going to take the photos in 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very
Thank
much, Dr.
you.
Dewi, for joining us. And we are
You're
going
welcome,
to
Jeremy.
appreciate Dr. Poot for joining us. This afternoon, and I hope this will give benefits for us all. And we are going to take the photos for the certificates in 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much, Dr. Poot, for joining us. And last but not least, thank you for Dr. Elina for joining us this afternoon. And we are going to give the certificates in 1, 2, and 3. Last but not least, we are going to thank you for all participants who have been taken your precious time to expand your knowledge in this event. I hope these events will give benefits for us all. Before we close these events, I would like to ask all the participants who can open their camera to take photos together for documentations of AMSA International. If you can open your cameras, please open them to take a brief photos for the event so that we have good and proper documentations prior to our events. Thank you very much. I will be waiting for about 30 seconds before we taking photos together. Thank you. Okay, I will be taking photos. This is a 3-page photo, so I will be taking 3 photos. I will be taking the first page photos in 1, 2, and 3. The second page, I will be taking in 1, 2, and 3. The third one, I will be taking photos in 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's all for the event on this afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope we all get a good insights, and thank you for all the speakers, all the participants.
Goodbye,
And hope you have
everyone.
a good time and
Thank you,
stay safe and take care.
Madukai. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Dewi.
Have a nice weekend. Thank you very much, Dr. Erlina, Dr. Dewi.
Thank you,
and
Dr. Erlina, Dr. Mandukai, and Dr. Ford.
Bye.
Yes.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Nice to
Jeremy.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Success to the
Nice to meet
event.
you all.
Nice to meet you
Nice to
all.
meet
Thank you
you.
for all the
Devi, Frida,
participants.
Poti.
Yes. Bye. Nice to see you. Thank you, Jeremy. Success to
Thank
you.
you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you, Jeremy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good job.
Bye. Yes.